Welcome everybody to the season 1 finale of Hey J Hunts. Pledge complete. Come on, give me my boom. Boom! Hey J Hunts. Welcome back to another Monster Hunter Journal. For those of you who have been following this journey since the beginning, what a wild ride it's been. It's been exactly 10 weeks since I've made a pledge to play through until I hit the credits of Monster Hunter World. And here we are wrapping up on journal number 10. I couldn't have asked for a better number to hit it, but it happened. I was not expecting it to happen, but this week I saw the credits, which means I've fulfilled my pledge. Now, before we get into this week's progress, because this has been one of the most momentous streams I've ever done. I couldn't get over just how much progress I was making. I killed the B-52 bomber, the Basil Goose. I've killed Kushala, Daora, Teostra. I'm bastardizing all these names, I apologize. Val Hazak, Xenojiva. I've slayed all of the end game of the story in Monster Hunter World. But before we get into my experience of hunting those monsters, I just want to share what it's like now that I've actually completed my pledge that I've done here. So when I made that pledge, I put a lot of thought into it before. If you've noticed the time between, I think, the video where I said, whoa, the Monster Hunter community is pretty good, and you guys were giving me a lot of feedback, I was really hesitant to jump into this game because I did not think I would like it. And even though I could see myself playing through a game, even I didn't like just to complete just for funsies, to like really get it, I was expecting to not enjoy this game and for this journey to be a little rough. And instead, it was a full 180 where I actually enjoyed it. I discovered so many new experiences. We've created so many memes, and it's been such a wild journey. I almost want to recap what I'm dubbing as season 1, because it is such an interesting story. I know a lot of you have referred to it as a anime arc of my own journey, which I'm sure that's how it's perceived by you. But on my perspective, I'm seeing it with all of you coming to the channel, all of the stories that we're doing through Discord, through the Twitch streams. Like, there's so much that's happening, not just because of me, but because of all of you as a community. And I really want to just capture that as kind of like, this is one time frame, this is one slice, this is season 1, because there are going to be more seasons, and we're going to talk about that at the end of this video. But anyways, yeah, I was going into this expecting not to like it, and it has been one of my favorite, most iconic, and best gaming experiences ever. Not because of the game, but because of the fact that there was this massive community that we could create stories with. And I hope to do a lot more of those with all of you. So let's get into this week's stream. Starting with, so I was going into this week's stream. Where did we leave off last time? Last time, I'm trying to remember. I think last time I had finished Nergigante, and it's like, all right, there are elder dragons everywhere. Go out and hunt them. And I didn't have the most upgraded switch axe that I wanted. I still had ugly armor, so I started the stream. I'm like, all right, let's go farm at Tsitsi to get the last few claws I need to get my higher Great Jagras switch axe so that I can take on these elder dragons. And I did an expedition, an investigation, which had him and Basil Goose in it. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. It's going to be a good warm-up. I have yet to actually kill Basil Goose. We had that first encounter with him, but I never actually killed him. I ran out of time. So in this setting, I understand he has a little bit less HP, but still on this map, I was fighting a Tsitsi, Basil Goose, and or Basil Jews, I don't know. And we had the Odo, which was actually, I don't know why he was on this map. It was the first time I saw him on this map. And it was kind of chaos because all three kept fighting at the same time, and Basil Goose was just so massive, and this map feels small. It's the map of the I think it's called the Coral Highlands, but I could be wrong. But I love that Tsitsi could flash the B-52, and then he would get stunned, and then I start beating on him, and then Odo would come and bite me, and it was just a crazy melee of a hunter and 3 monsters all fighting for each other. Anyways, I killed them all. The Basil Goose was actually kind of tough in this setting because I was there was so many things calling for my attention, and it was just a slugfest. It was like a 3D version of Smash Brothers where I was just getting pwned everywhere. But finally we slayed him, and I could finally see what his armor looks like. It looks pretty good. I like the armor set. This is an armor I would definitely consider getting. And then with him out of the way, we had our new switch axe. We were ready to take on the next Elder Dragon. And the first one that unlocked for us was Kushala Daora. And I have to say, I think this is my favorite Elder Dragon so far. It's a beautifully designed like dragon. It's got the steel body. Hate its tornadoes. So it's like this dragon that does the wind stuff, but it projects its attack so clearly. I really had no troubles fighting it. The only thing that got in the way were its tornadoes, where sometimes it would be like behind a tornado in a like really cramped spot and I couldn't get to it. But throughout the whole fight, I felt challenged, but I also felt like I was in control of the fight. I didn't cart at all on this one. And it was just a fun fight. Like there was even a place where I had like some toads. I was trying to kick the toads to get the dragon down, and I didn't have enough flash pods. I was not using my flash pods effectively. So basically I learned when it does the tornado, it comes out of the tornado, that's when you want to flash it, bring it down, and then you can hack away at it. But otherwise, it was just a really fun dance with Kushala. Kushala was my favorite of the end game. Way less intense than Nergigante. Nergigante is just so aggressive and so on you. I'm like just panicking all the time. But as a switch axe main, Kushala, fantastic fight. Beautiful dragon. Love everything about it. The armor set for Kushala was all right. I was expecting something a little bit better that more resembled its own skin. What we got was something that I'm just like, oh, okay. I don't really feel much out of this. Next, the second Elder Dragon that I got to fight was Teostra. Beautiful line. I love the face of Teostra. And this fight, I think, was one of the most difficult Elder Dragon fights I had, barring Nergigante, which was like a new wall. Just the fact that I had to fight this thing around lava, I was constantly being burnt. By the way, I went into all these fights with the same armor set I had last time. I'm not proud of that armor set. Keep in mind, I was trying to get through the base world. Well, I always play all my games quickly, so I wasn't about grinding and optimizing my armor. I would always go and fight a monster first, and then if I had issues, I would go back and refine my armor. In this case, Teostra, if I would have died to him a few more times, I definitely would have went back, grinded some fireproof armor to fight him, because it was just disgusting how often I was getting burnt. And he has this like supernova attack where the first time I'm literally standing there just like admiring its beauty, and then it just goes boom, you fainted. And that was my one and only cart with him. The rest of the time, he was just burning me constantly, and there was explosions happening all around me, and I was constantly getting like just sent around into the lava, and then he was like making craters happen. That was a challenge that was a little bit uncomfortable. Like it wasn't a comfortable challenge like Kushala. So not my favorite fight, simply because I don't think I was prepared. If I had to go back and fight it, I would grind out probably a Rathalos armor set, or I would stuff with fire resistance, and I would get an ice switch axe, and then maybe the story would be a little different, because this whole fire business was just BS the whole time, but that's on me. Next is Val Hazak, which was the third Elder Dragon of the night, and I couldn't believe like how quickly I was going through these Elder Dragons. I was not expecting to knock out so many new massive monsters in one night, so it was like a really adrenaline-filled night. Val Hazak. Oh, the armor set first of Teostra. Crimson armor, beautiful red. I love how it looks like. Between the alpha and the beta set, I think the alpha, I just like the helmet set better. Really, like, it's regal. I want some parts of that maybe mixed with other armor sets, because I really like that rich red. So Val Hazak, this is the only Elder Dragon we do not fight in the Elder Recess, at least, in base world. And that frustrated me, because the Rotten Vale is my least favorite level. I'm like, oh, why do I have to fight an Elder Dragon in the Rotten Vale? And on top of that, why do I have to fight this undead thing, which is like oozing fart gas out of itself, and if you get too close, it halves your health? It was the most bullshit gimmick ever. He wasn't even hard to fight. He projected his attacks really easily. He was easy to dodge, and he was easy to land some blows in. What was hard was managing that health, because when I was close, he'd fart, and then I'd like lose half my health, and then I had to null bury it and replenish my potion. And managing my health was honestly what took the most time in that fight, and it was just tedious and boring because of that. Now afterwards, I've learned that there is an armor set that nullifies that Rotten Veil like effect. I forget which one, but I saw it on stream. I was like, oh, that ability nullifies this. So if I would do this fight again, I would go back in with, again, different armor sets to nullify that. And I could probably do that fight a lot quicker, and maybe it would be more enjoyable. But otherwise, just a BS like mechanic in a BS level where like, I really don't like dying to gas. Like, I do not like losing health to gas. It's just nothing about that feels good. So with that out of the way, it was getting pretty late into the night. I'm like, okay, I've just made it through 3 Elder Dragons with the same armor set, same Switch X. I'm not upgrading anything. I'm not dropping parts. I'm not like doing anything. But everyone's like, you are 1 monster away from rolling credits. And I was like, okay, if I can end my journey, my first journey on journal entry 10, like that is just so poetic. It's beautiful. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's see what happens. I did not like how they set up the final boss of the game, just because it's like, oh, you're a great hunter. You just saved everyone. You just slayed everyone. We recognize you. Come with us to the secret thing, just you and I. And it's like, after everything that we've gone through, the whole story has always set us up as we are like a tribe of hunters. It's all of us. We're all in this together. Yeah, let's go hunt stuff. You know, we all went after the Zora, this big thing. But now we're going after this source of energy with the Admiral, and it's just going to be me and him buddying up to go see what's going on here. It gave me a really uncomfortable feeling of, okay, why are we kind of like going off on our own without the whole commission? It kind of takes away this whole camaraderie that it was trying to communicate. You know, the first scene of this game, you're on a boat cheering with friends and everything about being together and going to the new world to hunt. And now you're going to wrap it up with, hey, come with me. And then it goes into like this like dark tunnel you get on like a little boat, and the music is like really just small and creepy. And I'm like, this doesn't like set me up for all of everything that you built up. Even the Zora fights were built up to be epic and exciting, even though the fight itself was kind of meh. So I did not like the setup for the final fight. I did like the introduction of Xeno'jiiva. The fact that it's an egg from the source of all like this Elder Dragon energy. That's great. When it blew out of there and you just like see this massive like blue eyes white dragon looking thing, I'm like, okay, this is endgame material. This is a boss. Like, I can get behind this. I love the size. I love the look of it. And the music was like slow and epic. Like it made you feel like you were small. You are not the champion of the world, which is okay. But I think it could have, like, it's a 2-stage fight. I feel in the second stage they could have ramped it up. I like, my favorite fight music was when I was fighting Odo in the Rotten Veil, and I was like really like fighting for my life, and then like that music picked up into like that really like amped up state. That is probably the best song moment in this game for me so far. So anyway, that fight, I was hacking away. I learned that you could like get rid of its glowy parts if you smack them around enough, and it would get rid of the glow. I think if you ignore it enough, I think this was the mechanic, if you let it glow too much, it goes supernova and it just starts blasting everything and destroying the ground. Again, this fight, I was burning more than I would have liked. I was struggling. I was really unsure that I was going to fight it. I carded once, simply because I think I got caught in an explosion because I wasn't aware. I got smacked by its like Kamehameha into the face more times than I would have liked, which was just like so insulting. It was not a clean fight. Again, I would go back in here with some optimized gear, protect myself from some burning, probably come out with a better axe, like something from Devil Joe or something. Beautiful fight though. Beautiful fight. Way better than the Zora fight. And then, you know, we wrapped it up. Now its armor is also kind of nice. I think it could have been better, but I do like the flowy blue things. I just wish it was designed more to my taste. So those were the last monsters that brought us to the credit roll, and man, what a night it was. Again, all these armor and weapons are cool, but now I need to grind them because I want them. But at the same time, I'm in this weird place now because there is endgame world content there is Iceborne waiting for me, and there is Rise, which is a week away from launching, and I'm just like, how do I manage all this Monster Hunter? So on the one hand, I want to do the end game challenges of World properly, but I don't want to grind out higher rank gear that I'm going to toss out immediately when I start Iceborne. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. I have to do some research, and maybe you guys can give me some help in the comments of, should I just buy Iceborne, get some like early master rank gear, and then do the world end content? Should I just do it on multiplayer mode? Because I heard the world end content is best done in multiplayer. I really need to figure out. I still have to take on Black Diablos. I have to go back and see what these tempered monsters are about, because I haven't fought any. So there's still a lot to do in world. I'm not going to... I consider that kind of side content. I'm still going to do it and cover it in a journal, which is going to be like a season 1 bonus journal, if you will, or bonus journals. But I'm eager to start Iceborne, and right now we're looking at probably starting Iceborne this coming Thursday. Just before Rise, we're going to start the season 2 of this Hunter journal with Iceborne. And because I can't decide to do Iceborne or Rise, you know what? I figured, oh, let's get on this train. We're going to do both. So we're going to do Monster Hunter Rise on Tuesdays and Monster Hunter World Iceborne on Thursdays. And we're going to see how that goes. If it's too much, I'm going to recalibrate, but this is how I'm going to do it. And that means we're going to have 2 journal entries going at the same time. I will be grinding Iceborne. I will not be grinding Rise. So my Rise progress is going to be much slower, and my Iceborne progress is going to be more similar to my base world. So keep that in mind. And I know that the whole community is going to be playing Rise, so I'm not like in a hurry to get through that content, because we're all going to be discovering it together. So I'm going to be taking more of my time with exploring it, grinding that out, and not being so focused on, okay, I got to get to the next monster every week. So the Rise one is going to be a way more laid back approach to how I'm doing world. The last thing I want to talk about is the chat, because the chat has been on a journey as well. When we started this entire thing, we launched, I think the first stream had like 700 viewers. It was crazy. And we've kind of like evened out to about 500 regulars now. And the chat was very helpful in the beginning, but now there's been kind of this division of Twitch chat where you have those who are very eager to help or troll, I don't know. And they're actually giving me a lot of tips on how to beat a monster before I even see the monster, or they're very eager to like share all information, which a lot of people are considering spoilers. And then there's the other side of the chat, which is fighting that side of the chat to be like, quiet. And honestly, I don't really like seeing that division. I think that there's a lot of ways people like to experience streamers, and the fact that, we got onto this journey together, all excited, and everyone gets a different reaction out of these streams, and everyone just wants to have the best time, but now we're like clashing about different things. The way that our mods came up with a solution is we have this emote only mode, and now you have the people who want to protect me from spoilers. Before I go into a fight, they redeem their Twitch points to get emote only mode. So now when I go into like these really like challenging fights, I look at the Twitch chat and it's just like emotes of people like reacting with emotes, and they can't really give me any pointers. I have to say, just my own opinion, I know that as someone who is streaming this game, I'm going to experience this game differently than if I was playing it alone. And I'm okay with that. I'm enjoying how I'm experiencing it. When it comes to spoilers at this part, if I'm about to go into a fight, I would rather not know the whole mechanic of, oh, grab this, because on the one hand, yes, it's going to make it easy for me to do the fight and to not waste time. But I think it does take away a little bit of the experience of figuring out, oh, I really needed this to prepare. So it makes the journey a little bit smoother, which, I've always been trying to avoid it to some degree. I really want as much authenticity as I can as a streamer. So just bear that in mind if you are watching me on Twitch. Always happy for like suggestions and things, but if I'm about to fight a monster, maybe just hold back on really like key things of, oh, grab this armor, grab this item, unless I ask for it specifically. But otherwise, it's been a fun time with the chat, and there's a lot of memes coming out of that chat and how things are reacting. So it's just been awesome. So that's where we're at. We're at the end of this season. There's going to be a bit of content as I look to clean up Monster Hunter World base to some degree, specifically looking at the new challenges. But we're a week away from starting Iceborne. I'm so eager to try this because every Monster Hunter World fan I know talks really highly about Iceborne as being like, this is premium Monster Hunter content. It apparently doesn't compare at all like World. And I'm really excited to start Rise alongside everyone and see what it's like to be in a community that is developing and we're all learning and experiencing this together. So the fact that now we're gonna have 2 journeys going, it's gonna be crazy. For those of you who don't watch Monster Hunter content here, I don't think you're watching this part of the video anymore. But my non-Monster Hunter streams are going to come back eventually. But for now, this is a Monster Hunter year. I mean, we got 2 new Monster Hunter games coming out this year. There's just, it's the year to do it. So let's just do it. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you on season 2 of my Hunter Journals, or Hey J Hunts. And until then, as always, keep it classy. Oh, and one more thing. I pledge to hunt every monster in Monster Hunter Rise and Iceborne.